Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rim job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
We are back. Yay!
Yay! With Crusher, who wears blusher, and his mother's a gusher.
Half
of that's true.
It's Muggins and Cream back on the road with our guest today, Nick the Crusher Cody.
Yay! G'day, guys.
First things first, let's talk about me. I would like to apologise to the podcast listeners for last week's episode where I was so high. I took a net. I
haven't heard this one yet.
Well, it's not good on my behalf.
Oh, is this where I saw you that day and you were super quiet? Oh.
Cody, I was so
thought
bad
Sloss
after
hated
that. He thought I was in a huff with him.
Yeah. He was just high as fuck.
Yeah, so I don't even think we explained properly on the podcast because I so flippantly said he had an edible, expecting people to just know what an edible is. But it's when you cook weed into a sweet, into a cookie, and when you eat weed, it changes it from tetrahydrocannabinol to 11-hydroxymetabolite, which is a potent hallucinogen and can just make you really fucking trippy and drowsy and fucked up. And you had ate weed, which changed the compound and fucked your shit up.
Oh, it absolutely did. And the same thing happens every time you do edibles, which is not high, not high, not high. Oh God, I'm dying. I can see the moon on my insides.
Yeah.
And I had a joint because we were going to go for lunch with Andrew Stanley and Gene, and then Guy was going to go somewhere else to meet Katie. So I was like, "Well, I've got your weed sweet here," and he's like, "I don't want it." I was like, "Good, well, I'll just have your half. That'll spite you." Didn't spite him. I basically I was sat in a Japanese restaurant and I got into dead huffy with myself because I just got this whole new level of paranoia. It's the most paranoid I've ever been in my life. And I just couldn't use chopsticks and I was getting really upset at myself and I thought I was embarrassing myself and everyone. So I just sort of threw them down and then I ordered a meal which was like beef and little bits of fried bread. And because I couldn't use the chopsticks, I was like, I don't even think if you could use chopsticks you could do this. And I'm just sat there just making tiny little hand burgers at like a public table, and just like 20 minutes or what felt like 20 minutes later, Stanley just points to the knife and fork, and I'm just like,
oh, you hadn't seen it.
Oh yeah, those are way better than. And I thought it was done by the time I was on the podcast. So then poor fucking Katie Marks came on the first one, and I'm just sat there questioning my whole existence, everything in my life.
He's been hilarious while you stare through him. Yeah, I thought you held it together all right.
I bailed on the stag do story.
Oh, Cody, I don't know if you heard the episode yet, but he was like, "Oh, write it down. You've got to bring up that something happened on a stag do because I keep forgetting to tell it on the story, on the podcast." So we've done two, and he'd not brought the story up. So I had it written down to tell him, and then he brought it up of his own accord. And just bailed on this story.
Halfway through,
lost full confidence in it.
There's even a point when he tries to go, "Nah, come on, I'll help." I'm like, "No, I don't want to tell the story anymore."
But I was like, "I've got it written down here to bring up the stag party story. Was that it?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was it." So do you reckon we should hear it now?
No, well, it was the exact same thing happened on the fucking stag do. So we're going out for this stag do from friend Jordan's wedding out in Byron Bay. And I'd gone up to Nimbin 2 days before where marijuana is legally, but well, not legally, but the police just fucking ignore it. So we go up there and it's not like Amsterdam, it's way seedier. There's a park and a guy goes, "Do you want weed?" And you go, "Yeah," and he just keeps looking over your shoulder to see if the police are coming. And so you pick weed and you buy it, and it was like really good stuff. We go to a pub.
Hey, is it like that Christiania place?
It's exactly like Christiania, yeah, very much.
What's
exactly.
that?
So Christiania is a place in Copenhagen where the police just agree not to go.
Oh, wow.
And so
it's like a lawless little province of the city.
But you can just go and you can buy pre-rolled joints or normal joints. You can only smoke it there, otherwise the police will fucking do you.
They do it in like combat tents with like fucking webbing, like with camo and shit. Like obviously it doesn't need to be camouflage, it's urban. But I think it's for the vibe.
Yeah.
And they wear like not gas masks, but like full fucking balaclava. Like.
But I think it is if the police do come through or anything that they can just fucking sprint out there and not be recognised. But Christiania is great because in the middle of it, like there's a stage where people like Lady Gaga and Ice Cube
and Alanis Morissette and shit like that. People that really endorse the idea of this like lawless place.
There's a guy in
like
there.
Amsterdam in The Wire.
Yeah. Just like a little place where anyone can go. There's also a guy
for a place with no rules, the one rule is no taking photos. That's the only thing that's like up there to stick by is no photographs.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, so Nimbin's like a smaller version of that, and on the way back, right, there's clearly the sign was made years ago when Nimbin was a bit more thriving, because the sign was mingle park. I don't care if you're in a couple or you're single. It's my park, my rules. So fucking mingle. And it's just all these benches out. So clearly, when it was a thriving thing, you just had to go there and mingle and you enjoy the thing.
Hang out with strangers.
But because that was 20 years ago, it's just one old woman sat there alone, and I'm like, well, that's a pretty fucking
Just
sad.
come and mingle with us. Someone mingle with me old vagina.
No, that's why it's probably always been like that. Because
Yeah.
you hear these things about Nimbin, but it's only because people are fucking high as when they're there that it's great.
Yeah.
But it's probably shit. I haven't been there. But
It's a long ass fucking drive to get there, and it is in the middle of fucking, like, if I was the police officer, I'd be like, look, you can sell coke there, I don't give a shit, I ain't coming. You can't speed there, like, there's just too many corners. But we're just walking through, and this old lady, we're trying to be nice, like, getting in with the gist of the part, like, mingling, and this woman's like, hello, and we're like, hiya. She's like, do you want any cookies? And we're like, no, it's fine, you fucking weirdo. And then 2 steps later, my friend Ellie goes, you know she meant weed cookies. And I was like, ho, here we fucking go. So I turned around, I'm like, yeah, I'll have all of them. She's like, I've only got 2 left. I'm like, how strong are they? She's like, take about half. And this woman is 97 years old and about 60 pounds.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
She's before measuring.
Yeah. But also, she's like, half works on me, and I'm like, right, well, I'll take 6 then, you tiny little dog. Like I'll be grand.
But she's got 97 years of tolerance.
Yeah, 97 years in Nimbin.
Yeah. It means she's actually 986. Like, she's so old. Like, if they were to ever, like, when she does die and they had to do surgery on her, like, she just literally, you just cut her and she just turns into dust and goes away, and it just spells the word Nimbin in the sky.
She's a wisp.
So I've got these 2 cookies. It's the day of the fucking stag do. So we got Jordan's. The girls are off doing the hen do on the other side of the island. The boys are doing the stag do. We're going to go to a brewery, but we agree we're not going to meet up. Stags can't meet the hens in the out. That's entirely fair. So we're drinking from about 9 a.m. We're playing beer pong with Jordan's dad and his uncle. We're all getting absolutely fucking wrecked. I've just bought a bunch of miniature little Jaeger bombs throughout the day. Well, just like Jaeger shots.
Yeah.
And whenever I think
Great.
Jordan's not drunk enough, I'm just like, you have to. It's your fucking it's your stag do. And he's like, he's hammered. I'm hammered. We get to the brewery and it's just all there. We're just chugging it back.
Stone and Wood.
Stone and Woods, exactly. And it was a great brewery tour.
Fucking very tasty beers.
They were. They also said to us, they were like, we don't normally do bucks parties, but because if you promise to be in your best behaviour, you'll be fine. So we get there. We're a bit gobby, but in like a friendly way. We're just having a little bit of fun. But the woman who took us on, she was very nice, loved it. So at the end, I've just got these 2 fucking cookies.
So hold on, she took you on a tour and you had to behave when you were hammered on a stag party, and it was like...
Yeah,
so
I love that.
So it went from being like a beer fucking fest to you're at a museum.
Yeah. But it was like an hour, but with free booze all the way through. So we're like, if we just keep our shit together...
What, it was a tour?
We did a tour. No, she just took us out beer tasting and stuff, and then just showed us that it's a small thing. So it was fun.
I hate that shit at a stag do.
Oh, come here to learn.
Mine was at a bar.
Organised shit.
Yeah. It's still an activity.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn any facts.
I want to do it.
I'm trying to forget some.
I want to do stuff that's like paintballing or go-karting and stuff like that, but which I'm also going to be maggot for, by the way.
Yeah, I want stuff that invokes emotions.
Yeah.
Something that like gets a bit of adrenaline pumping, a bit of endorphins.
Yeah.
So actually,
give me some chemicals.
How this beer over here is made, it's actually yeast that sits in a vat. Who fucking cares? Put here to get maggot.
Because it wasn't my job to organise the stag, and also it was in Byron Bay, so apart from the beach, there's not a lot to do there, and you can't really fully drink on the beach the amount we intended to drink. So afterwards, we go back into town, and I've got these 2 cookies. So I give half, or like a third to me, a third to Jordan, a third to Grant. So that's 1 down, and then like a third to Jordan's dad, who's just like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then a third to the bride's brother. And 45 minutes later, I'm like, oh, this is actually...
He said Beebs' dad?
Yeah, he did.
He did some?
Yeah, like a
Fucking
fucking
cool.
legend. He was just like, never done it in his life. He was like, fuck it, stag do, why not? So we all take this,
So much easier to do it with an edible if you're opposed to it.
Oh, totally.
Someone offers you a cookie, even though you're saying to them, like they think it's like, oh, this is the like fucking the light version. Having a cookie is the light version. I wouldn't have a spliff because I don't like smoking, but I'll have a cookie. Yeah, actually, what you're doing is having vodka instead of shandy.
Yeah. It's no, I can't have that champagne. That's a bit too much. But could you just pour this Jaeger bomb up my arsehole? That's how I want it. No, I just don't like the taste. So
But it just seems so friendly and fluffy that it's a cookie.
Yeah. So, like 45 minutes later, it starts kicking in, but in a very nice way. Like, I'm like, this is I'm giggly already, and we're just drinking more, and I'm like, fuck it, there's only crumbs left. I'll just have a handful of these crumbs. Here's another handful for you, Jordan. Here's another handful for you, Grant. And again, the thing about weed reacting in your stomach is it takes way longer, and 45 minutes later, just the exact same thing that happened on the podcast the other day. Just, and at one point, like, I'm just laughing, and I realize that nobody's talking, and I'm just laughing to myself. Me, Jordan, and Grant are all laughing so hard, we just assumed somebody said something, so we just keep laughing at the bit. But all it is just 4 other people watching 3 guys laugh for no reason. So we walk to the park, and I just need to lie down, and we're lying on the park, just the highest I've ever been, and I'm like, it's such a beautiful day, it's so lovely, because weed makes you feel that way. And then I'm like, is this actually as beautiful as I think it is? And then I look around, and we're just there with a bunch of fucking homeless people. It's like 3 guys, maggot, like,
You took heroin.
but we've got wallets and phones.
That's a junkie story.
Yeah, we've got wallets and phones on us, and I'm like, they're looking up at the sky, they're like, what a beautiful day. I'm like, guys, we're in a park filled with homeless people. And
It's so muggable.
That's what he thought the cookie crumbs were.
Yeah.
No, I just got the cookie crumbs. I cooked them up in a spoon.
Yeah.
Shot it into my dick and
turned
then
them into a tiny little cake on a spoon. Nom 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 nom. And then we're so high. I'm like, I've got to go back. He was like, what about the stag do? And I'm like, Jordan, I don't even know where the bar is right now. But right behind us. Looked for 5 minutes, couldn't fucking find it. Managed to sort of find our way home, and we get there, and the hen do, who have been out all day drinking, they've just come back to get changed before they go out in the evening, right? So we've accidentally crossed past them.
You're meant to be avoiding them, but you catch them on their way out.
But there's something nice that I'll say, as a guy that just got married, I didn't bump in. We had ours on separate days. The hens do, stag do, or bucks party as we call it.
Yeah.
They were separate days, but like the night before the wedding or day of the wedding, you're not meant to see your bride. But I saw Luch in the morning because she popped her head in. And I was fucking so hungover. Yeah. She goes, "Oh, just a chilled out night in. Ran into Sloss, we'll drink a champagne in a spa. I don't know what happened." But the rule, I don't know if I've ever told it at my Bucks party. The night before my wedding, there's a group of us at the hotel out in Macedon Ranges, like just near where we get married, about 50 minutes outside of Melbourne. And Bart beforehand says to me, Bart Freeban, fucking great comic, one of my best men, he goes, "Now, you know I don't drink, so you've got to give me some rules and I'll make sure you stick to them." And I said, "All right, Bart, all I'm doing is having 3 beers tonight, just 3 beers. You've got to stop me at 3 beers." And he goes, "Yeah, man, cool, 3 beers, I can jump in." I said, "Yep, no worries." We turn up to dinner. Sloss goes, "I've ordered champagne and wine." And I go, "Whoa, loophole." Fucking blind.
I was wondering where that was going to go, because if Bart tried to stop you having the champagne at that moment, like as if like, I'm going to make you stick to this rule, you just would have fell out.
Yeah. But I did year 10 legal studies, cunt, sucked in.
So yeah, we got absolutely fucking blind that night as well. Yeah, just all of us in the jacuzzi. Oh, me, Demi Lardner, Kyron Wheatley, and Reese, just all in a jacuzzi, blitz drunk.
Because by the way, the good thing about
Cody's just writing his vows on the inside of his palm, like, I should have done this earlier.
Crossing paths though with your partner and her friends at one of those things is nice, because you can look at your partner and go, they haven't fucking destroyed you. There's a nice little nod, like, "You all right?" "Yeah."
Yeah.
You all right? Yeah.
Oh, so Jordan didn't get this, because we turned back and Mallory and they're like a bit. It's only 6 p.m. right? So they've had a lovely day doing sensible things. They've had a couple of like cocktails and whatnot. They've not been drinking solidly since 10 a.m. and doing fucking weed biscuits. Also on no food. What we had steaks at like 12. That was it.
Biscuits.
Yeah, and biscuits. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never drinking on an empty stomach.
But he's starving over here. Sounds like a man that ate a cookie. That's what you told me.
Look, children in Africa ain't got nothing on me. That's all I'm saying.
I don't mind if you're drunk and high. Just don't lie. All right?
So we get back and like, you know that level of high where you're like, bed, for the love of God. Like, I'm going to pass out. It might as well be somewhere safe. And Mallory's there, and we come in. Now, none of them, for some
And then
reason...
you had to have a normal off-frequency conversation with the bride-to-be.
And she
Oh,
can't.
holy fuck, that's the worst when you're chatting to someone that's not high, especially if you're trying not to act high.
She doesn't. She also. None of them knew we were high. And I'm like, it's so obvious how high we are because Jordan's through there with 2 Pringles in his mouth, pretending to be a duck in the pool, right?
In the pool with a wet Pringles.
I don't know if I put the thing in this thing. Oh, and she's like, "What are you doing back here?" I'm like, "Oh, we just came back for a rest." She's like, "It's a stag do. We're not meant to bump into each other, but most importantly." Like, he's worked so hard for the past 6-7 weeks. This was meant to be like his big fucking blowout. I'm like, Mallory's hammered.
He's being a duck in the pool.
We did it by 6.
Yeah.
Job and knock. We got in, we got out.
He's not swimming laps.
I came, I saw, I conquered.
Yeah. He's just,
He thinks he's a duck.
but somehow the weed is making him float. Just go give him bread. That'll sober. That's how I'm sobering him up. I'm just throwing bread into
That's
the
not
pool.
even a pool, that's a pool table. He thinks it's a pool.
He's doing the backstroke. He's tearing it up. But he's also put 20p on the side of the table just to be nice. So I'm just there slurring through like the most red eyes. Be like, Mallory, honestly, the second you go, the boys are coming back here. We're going to do some shots. We're going to go back out. And she's like, do you promise? I'm like, I'll fucking pinky promise you. Right? She's like, good. They leave. I'm like, peeps, you'll go to bed. And he's already in bed. So she's like, we'll just fall asleep for an hour. Everyone set their alarms on the phones.
Everyone, there's 2 of you.
Three.
Everyone.
Grant said as well.
That's you.
Right, so we set our alarms on our phone. So me, Grant, David go to bed. Oh, sorry, me, Grant, and Beebs go to bed at 6. Set our alarm for 7, right? At 10 p.m, we wake up. All of our alarms are still going off. They have been going off for 3 hours. But now, David, we don't know where he came from, is now also in the bed. Clearly, he'd also had some of the weed, so clearly comes back. Just these, oh God, I finally found the boys. Face down. Fall asleep for another hour, wake back up. And then we go, oh, I'm still immensely high. But at this point, we're now genuinely concerned because Jordan's dad, who's never done marijuana before,
Hasn't surfaced yet.
hasn't surfaced.
Yes.
None of us know where he is.
Having a fucking belter.
We don't know where Ali is. We know.
He is having a fucking belter. Your first ever fucking experience
See,
with weed. You know?
it's this reaction which makes me believe Kai won't be fit for that much longer.
Because as much as he does love being in shape, I know how much he loves getting utterly shit-faced. And I know how sad he's getting that all of his stories recently have been like, oh yeah, leg day.
He's still fit. It's sickening me.
Oh, it's gross.
But his tan's wearing off.
Yeah.
No.
I've still got the tan lines on my stomach though.
Oh, Jesus.
I've got the
this cunt.
fucking where I rolled them over. You see that when it was actually first done? I fucking sat sunbathing like that where it folded. And I got like sunburn lines.
Just a little undrawn pecs.
That's still there.
So eventually we wake up at 11 and we just get out for one more beer and just go, we've lost everyone. Nobody's answering the phone. Just go back to bed and then woke up the next day at 9 a.m. So we counted that we had 16 hours of sleep on a stag do. Next day we bump into Jordan's dad, and we're like, how was your night? He was like, oh great, that cookie was mint. And we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, it was really fun. It's just really sort of chatty and giggly. And I'm like, so what did you do when we left the pub? He was like, oh, we stayed there for another like 3 hours, went and got a curry, just went home, laughed a bit. I'm like, have you done marijuana? He's like, no, never. Like, where did you guys go? Because that stuff was good. I'm like, you fucking beast.
Did you borrow a pint of that 97-year-old woman's blood? You got a blood transfusion.
Or maybe it's like in like the Pixar's Brave, like it's her. He was her, or she's him. She's just coming and manifested herself as Jordan's dad, right? Who hadn't met before this, so he's just like, oh, I'm going to see how good these kids are with my cookie. I saw the way he looked at me when I said only half. Maggot.
Oh, that was his cookie.
No,
I'm
yeah.
trying to remember if I've seen Brave. Was that the one with the bears?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't one of the bears.
I think though it's just there's something about dads on the loose, dads and mums on the loose. They're used to like looking after babies and shit. So fucking half a cookie, it's like what? It's not going to touch the sides, even if you've never done it. That'd be fine.
What's it like?
It's like my dad at the wedding smoking with dip tobacco in his lip. When my SAS mates thought they'd killed him, my dad took a big chunk of like dip tobacco and put it in his lip. And they go, have you done it before, Jeff? He goes, nah. And then just sort of walks off, and we've all got dip in, we're spitting and whatever. And then we can't find Dad, and they thought he was
Having a bucky
sick.
buzz.
They thought, he might have been spewing because it knocks some of those guys around really bad. And they look over, and Dad's smoking a cigarette. They're like, Jeff, do you still have the dip in? He's like, yep. They go, fucking this cunt. He's got dip tobacco in and smoking a cig.
But he's also not spitting it at all. He's just swallowing it like, this is great. Time with vodka. Jeff Cody is a massive, massive loose unit, though.
Do you think...
But he's like a little quiet,
You wouldn't expect it,
super nice dude. Glasses, looks a bit like Ned Flanders.
When does he come to my show? Because...
He's meant this weekend, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Coming.
So whenever Jeff Cody next dad comes to one of my shows, it's always that thing. Very specifically, he said on Facebook all the shows that he was going to go see and the conditions that he was coming to see the show. And he's like, I'll come see Sloss as long as he promises real drinks afterwards. Because anything that's not lager that was made in a bathtub is not a real drink to your dad.
Like he sees a margarita and he just, fucking girls' drinks.
I want some prohibition shit.
Yeah.
I want some lawless shit.
Yeah.
I mean, made in the fucking...
There's not a 10% mob tax.
Needs to be made.
That doesn't...
Gotta make that in a fucking shed in the woods.
Right. Should we move on to Muggle Corner?
Shall we?
Cody, would you like to...
Are you glad, Daniel? Are you glad you got that story out?
Because also, like, I did it so much injustice last week, but I just sort of felt like, also as a warning to any listeners on the podcast, which is absolutely do edibles. You can have great experiences, but for the love of God, learn from my continuous mistakes.
Dude, remember when we got so high that that I phoned the pizza shop back to thank them for the pizza? You know what it is? I went the pizza back. Yeah, I was just like, hey, you delivered a... and then he said your actual address there.
Yeah.
You delivered a pizza to fucking 31 Springfield Avenue.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yep, expect a complaint. I was just like, just want to say, he's made my evening. It was delightful. Loved the pizza. And they were just like waiting for the complaint. I was like, that's it. I was like, oh, thank you.
Man, that must have never happened.
Oh,
That's
never.
like once on Sydney Comedy Festival showcase tour, which is that's like Comedy Festival Roadshow, and there's a bunch of us were out in some town in like country New South Wales or country Queensland. We want food after the gig, and they're like, oh, the KFC might still be open. The person at the theatre says that. So we Google the KFC, and it doesn't have the hours, but it's got the phone number. So we call it. Who the fuck has ever called a KFC? The poor chicken there must be like, what is that? Just a 15-year-old going, what's that thing attached to the wall?
Yeah, it's one of them where you put your finger in it at the end of the day. Like,
It's just dusting it off, like like he's got to move boxes of all the gravy sauces to be like, holy shit.
The antique's making some noise.
just like slowly brushing dust off it.
Would you like to explain to the listeners, first-time listeners, Cody, what muggles are?
Basic bitches. That's what a muggle is.
Yes, they
a
are.
basic bitch. No, Muggle Corner, it's just... muggles are... Yeah, it's just people that... No, just basic.
Just a bit low grade. Nothing wrong with them.
Of course not.
Absolutely not bad
We've
people.
all done Muggle things.
Every day we...
If you've gone through... How many eps are you in now?
This must be
30-odd.
Yeah,
This is 44?
44, 45, yeah.
40-odd eps, right? If you're somebody that's listened to all these and you go, I haven't done any of those Muggle things, you're actually the ultimate Muggle.
Yeah, because you're lying to yourself and us.
Which is even worse.
Each week we suggest 2 things each, because there's 3 of us, to go in Muggle Corner. We'll debate whether they do go in Muggle Corners. And if you're guilty of these things, you're not a full-time Muggle, but you deserve a little bit of punishment and a little time of introspection about
Or just a little bit of where you've just got to accept it. There's been times when stuff's been put in Muggle Corner and I just went, well, you know what? I'm going to be a Muggle just for that instance. Because
Well, my first one today, it's going to put me in the corner.
Good.
Muggles wear sports team stuff outside of a sporting contest.
Oh, I'm in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the corner too.
Yeah, I've got a Chelsea shirt that's got Slossage on the back.
Slossage on the back. I'm currently wearing a Conor McGregor T-shirt.
I've got Juventus shorts that I just wear around the house.
I done a gig in a Lithuania shirt.
Yeah.
In Lithuania, like fucking Snoop Dogg or something. Like, I'm just trying to appeal to the locals.
Yeah, in Lithuania, our guy Paul
Totally
is
fucking
and then
amazing.
his
I think you've got a Lithuania shirt too, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
the yellow?
we've both got them.
Yeah.
I've got it with
it's
me. But yeah,
great.
he bought it for us while we're out in Lithuania. And I'll wear it. But also because I don't really do sports.
Oh, but Cody, I didn't just wear it for the gig. I wore a hoodie, and then like 5 minutes in, done the reveal, took my hoodie off.
Great.
Oh, just
So unctuous.
pandering. Absolutely pandering. Yeah, I've seen people wear, I think, and this might sound a bit, in fact, it definitely is going to sound ignorant. Like, a lot of the sports when you go, they should stop that at size.
What's that?
Like if you're clearly
Like
not sportsy.
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
XXXL.
Yeah.
No, but you guys have been to a bunch of UFC events as well.
Oh, that's fair.
My favourite thing about the UFC, though, the fans there, people think it's all dudes. I reckon it's 50-50.
Oh,
Yeah.
half
totally.
guys, half girls. Maybe some more girls sometimes. It's an insane amount.
If Ronda
Good
Rousey's
split.
headlining that, most of
Yeah, and the thing I've seen is that nobody just goes to the gym a bit.
Yeah.
UFC fans, like, I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
He goes a couple times a week. UFC fans are like, what's a gym? Or I live in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no middle ground.
No.
Yeah.
Unless we go
Yeah.
there.
There's the couch potato UFC fans, and there's the ones that think they should be in the cage.
Yeah.
Mind you, you do get that. I think you get that with most sports. Like you've got like all the football fans who are just like angry that they didn't make the sort of.
Oh yeah, they
selection
got an
when
injury when they were 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's why he didn't do
And
it.
then you've got the other ones that are just like, I've never kicked a ball in my life, but this is the greatest sport that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And thanks
This is
to
my
Mark
church.
Hunt, thanks to Mark Hunt and Roy Nelson, they've got a shot. They could get in one day. They've just learned how to throw a massive punch.
It is like
that
arguably
not
the
far.
least discriminatory sport, the UFC. I've always argued it. Like I
Yeah.
don't understand why the feminist movement didn't get more behind Ronda Rousey. Like in a sport where Dana White years ago said there will never ever ever be women in the
Yeah.
UFC. Ronda Rousey came in and went, "Shut up, cunt." There's now 3 divisions.
Well, I feel like they closed the gap between genders too, like quicker than other sports. Whereas, right, there's
Yeah.
probably not many sports where you'd go, right, the best 100-meter woman should go up against the men because she's that good. Or there's not enough, like in football where they go, why isn't she in the men's team? Because she should be in the best division.
Yeah.
Whereas in UFC, I feel like we're at a point where we're going, oh, these should probably just be fighting against everyone. It shouldn't be
Amanda
gender
Nunes and
specific.
Holly Holm could definitely.
Yeah.
could kill
yeah.
a lot of the.
But the thing is, what they could do, they don't need to like match up Holly Holm with like Cody Garbrandt or whatever.
No.
They could just like go down and match her up with someone that's like even.
But then I heard Ronda Rousey in an interview said that should never happen because she never wants 70,000 people turning up to a stadium to see a man hit a woman.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's always the thing. Like,
Which is
That's
like,
what I mean.
yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's happened too early. We needed it to happen to every other sport in UFC last.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
needed
yeah.
it to be every other sport where it's mixed genders, and then this is the last one left.
Yeah.
And then it moves. But it just so happens that this is the closest women have
yeah.
ever come to being.
I
as good
guess
as-
tennis does it.
do they
Because they do mixed doubles.
They do mixed doubles,
Yeah.
but
They do-
that's still a man, a woman.
Yeah,
a woman.
yeah, but at least they're sort of competing on the same thing at that point. Same with golf because they do mixed doubles on the way through. Like,
Yeah, but it's still a
Yeah,
man,
it's
a man,
still-
a woman,
yeah,
a woman.
yeah.
You'll never have a man versus a woman in a sport. Is there? Am I
must be.
missing something? Is there something I'm...
In
Not
tennis,
picking
that
up on?
happened years ago. I forget
Yeah.
who was playing.
Yeah.
Chick
But-
beat the dude.
But why? That's what I said. Why don't they do it, but just match it up properly? Like they don't have to put the top woman against the top dude. Like the top woman might be as good as like the 6th dude in tennis or something. But why wouldn't they just put them in the rankings? And she just the same as every other dude in the division.
Well,
would
like
have to
car racing,
push up.
there's that the woman in is it NASCAR? She's in one of those.
Yeah. She's one of the
She's
highest.
in one of
yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, she's top ranked. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. But yeah. back
Anyway.
to the sports clothing.
Sports clothing outside of a sports game.
Yeah, like if you're allowed to own it, like if you're wearing this stuff to go to the gym, I think that's a stipulation we'll allow in there. Like
Yeah.
if you're wearing
Well,
sports
that's all
gear.
I'm-
Didn't you
going
used to
after
wear?
this.
Was it you who used to wear American football gear with the pads?
When I played American football, yeah.
Oh no, but
not
just-
outside of.
Not just for, like, not for cutting about.
No, that's a mental person.
Yeah, no, I'm massively into horse racing, but I always wear the horse wherever I go as well. Just go down the shops and actually, this is my sports, so I am allowed to. That guy's got a guide dog. This is my racing
Yeah.
horse. Come on now.
I'm a big fan of the swimming. Just go to the shop in my trunks.
He shoots with that little fucking condom hat on. What's it called?
Yeah. Oh, I did
Swim
that.
cap.
I
Yeah,
went
there you
swimming
go.
cap. Yeah, I went out. We had a night out in Zante 2008 where all the boys on tour, and we had a spandex night where everyone had to wear lycra. I just went as a swimmer.
I've never.
wear swimming trunks and a
Like-
fucking.
It's like when you. I think the reason for that is because like it's to make you more streamlined, obviously. But see, when I see people just in pools normally with those on, I'm like, are you really trying to shave 0.2 seconds off your fucking time? Like, is that why you're in this public pool to shave 0.2 seconds off your time, which you're not in a race?
What, you mean the full suits?
Yeah, it's like whenever you see.
Well, they had to get rid of some suit. I think it was in the Olympics 2012.
That shark fin thing.
They had to get rid of
Shark
some
skin.
full sort of bodysuit because it was too good. Like, everyone was smashing records.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, science is...
This has just got like fucking...
I don't know.
But that's silly. They shouldn't ban it if that's what they've come up with.
Yeah, if
Like,
everyone's
you wouldn't
got
go,
it.
hey, you
No, but
think Bolt, go and put some other shoes on there too fast.
But it's a bit drug-related style thing, you know? Putting stuff in the gloves in boxing.
Yeah.
Right, got
Cement.
Yeah.
you. Horseshoe.
So, Muggles wear sports team stuff outside of a sports game.
Absolutely.
I'm in the corner.
I'm
Are
in
we
the
all
corner.
in the corner?
Yeah.
We're hanging out in the corner.
We wore Conor McGregor tattoos for the Conor McGregor fight.
That is true.
We've got the
Yeah,
Conor tattoos.
that,
we put them on.
Yeah.
All three of us wore Conor
Oh,
McGregor
yeah.
pig
You
tattoo.
should post that.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's like 30 people in the house, right?
I was so excited when I found that shit online.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. That was a fucking great day.
We just disappeared, come back in, full kit wankers.
My one is, I'll do my first one, which is from one of our Twitter listeners, Simonologue. This is apt for last week. Muggles do April Fools.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the worst times to ever be on Facebook is and Twitter is the day after anything political happens, because I don't care about anyone's political opinion on Facebook unless you have a politics degree and you read more than me.
If anyone's doing a political opinion and then it says read more, that's never been clicked.
Yeah, yeah.
No one's ever clicked it.
And then the other one is the April Fool's Day, when they're just like, so guys, there's just, I will happily drop someone in the room. I won't mention their name because I know they don't listen to this podcast, but there will be comedians know who it is. There is a comedian somewhere in the world, I won't mention where, who on the day of Facebook, April Fool was like, just done my last ever gig last night, never going to do comedy again, I'm hanging on the boots, it's been a pleasure so far. And then me and all the other comics were like, oh good, you weren't that great. That's a smart time.
I think that's a really muggly thing for comedians to do.
Yeah.
The cry for help.
Oh no! But then later on he was like, April Fools. And
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
like,
that was, but when he was doing that as an April Fool, but that's a genuine thing I've seen comics do, where they're like, oh, I'm going to quit, I'm going to on other gigs that are in my diary. They're just asking all the comedians to get behind them and root for them.
You should keep doing comedy because the audience want you to keep doing it, not because the fucking your mates backstage do.
Yeah. So,
Like, see if I announced my retirement on Facebook, right, and more comedians were upset than fans were, I would definitely fucking retire at that point. I'd be like, oh shit, who am I doing this for?
Yeah.
Like,
the brilliant thing on April Fool's Day was Rick and Morty saying that it was on tonight on Comedy Central, and everyone thought it was the obvious April Fool, and it wasn't, and they just absolutely subverted the fucking genre.
Right.
oh yeah, fully did it, and they're now trying to bring back the Szechuan sauce. They've got in contact with McDonald's to try and bring it back. So this cult show,
Oh,
might be able
wow.
to bring this fucking thing back.
Hey, do you know me and Natalie started going out with each other on April Fool's Day?
Yeah.
'Cause,
Oh, and also no, but do you know?
Sucked in, Natalie.
Because I told her it was just like, if we change our mind, we can just pretend we're kidding.
Yeah. Is that the day you, at the airport where you accidentally told her you loved her?
I did. Shortly after that.
Yeah.
I think I'd been away a week after that. So Natalie, when me and her weren't going out with each other, and we're just doing the
Yeah.
Did
finger
what?
in the hole.
Aye.
I done the finger in the hole action like a child. Just tell the podcast listeners. She's parking the car. She dropped us off at the airport, like a good booty call does.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my city.
You've served you. I'm shipping this overseas. I want this nowhere near me.
And,
I like how you think that's an egg on her being like, oh yeah, she did because she dressed into the airport. Like, you're the mug. She basically made you fuck her and then kicked you out of the fucking country. Like,
don't have to deal with him anymore. I dropped the L-bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I loved her in the airport.
yeah, by accident. Hi, I love you.
Yeah, accident. She said it back, but she looked like, look, I'm just
The
going
L-bomb, you yelled lesbian at her. She wouldn't kiss you.
lesbian. So yeah, she said it back, but Natalie wouldn't do anything to avoid an awkward situation. So I felt like I didn't know.
That's why she said yes when he proposed.
That would have been funny had she said yes. So yeah, it was like a week after that we decided on Facebook to fucking
Make it Facebook official.
Make it Facebook
you
official.
fucking muggles.
but it wasn't an April Fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, might have been. Didn't work out.
I don't think I've ever done an April Fool's in my life, because it's also what that stupid. The only thing that's not worse, but it's the same. Muggles do April Fools, but Muggles also point out that April Fools ends at midday.
Oh, yeah, there's rules on it.
Oh, fuck that stipulation.
Oh, but that's why I think I've never experienced April Fools in the last 7 years, because I've always been out in Australia, and that means I've never woken up any time before 12 p.m.
Oh.
So I've always missed it.
Is April Fool's global?
I think
They
so.
have it in America and Australia?
Yeah, I think so.
April 1st?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
of course, it's everywhere.
No, because I just
Obviously, the poorer the country, the sadder the April Fools gets. Hey Siri, the food truck's here. Sucked in, April Fools.
Hey, Rwanda,
God,
the water's clean.
Yeah, God, UNICEF have gone dark. Why are they taking part? We've sent them off. Oh, God. It's like whenever they turn with red noses, I'm like, could you spend the money on not getting the red noses, mate? Could you take the money I'm giving you for the things? We got all these shirts made. By who? Stop asking questions. We're fixing the water.
Yeah, we'll give Lenny Henry $1 million.
Oh, I can't stand any of that shit. Have you ever done April Fools?
Oh, I'm sure I have at some point.
Don't-
29.
Yeah.
Must have.
I can't. I hate pranks. That's why whenever someone pranks me, I take it 1,000 times too far. Which, if you want to hear more of, you can listen to on Nick Cody's podcast. Was it Crusher Corner?
Crushing it.
Crushing it.
Crusher's Corner.
Crusher's Corner. So you should have called it. Yeah, you, me, and Luke Heggie do a full podcast on pranks. Go
Yeah.
listen to that one.
Hey,
I've only done 8 episodes of my podcast. I'm very slack. I
how's it-
realise I work hard when it comes to stand-up. Anything outside of that,
Yeah.
Anything that
I
doesn't
don't know
pay you.
what.
Where's my money?
No. It's more like stand-up. You do heaps of spots for free. It's not
Yeah,
even that.
true.
I've got the equipment here.
Yeah,
we're
we're using
using
your-
my equipment.
Yeah, because everyone's shite.
Let's upload this on yours too.
Yeah.
It's
Doesn't
like,
get me to do it again.
it's like when American shows just do shitty crossovers with each other. Like, hey, it's our 2 unknown podcasts meet each other. Yay. Do we agree?
Hey,
Michael?
do you like this for
April Fools for
for
sure.
a practical joke? Because you did it. I listened to a whole episode on practical jokes. When I was there, it was like way back when I was about 22 years old. Right, I'm on a night out, and I pulled this girl, but we didn't trade numbers. Right, but she texted me the next day. She went to university with one of my friends. So she texted us going, I got your number off Chris, do you want to hook up? And we'd like texting each other, flirting on for like a week, and like sexting as well. I'm on a promise. And I turn up to meet her, and I told all the boys where I was going, and when I fucking rocked up at the pub where I was meeting her, all the boys were there. Because I told them I was going on this date, so they all fucking rocked up. That wasn't what happened. They all rocked up because I'd been texting them.
Oh my god.
Like, she never texted me
So
once.
good.
And for a week, I'm sexting my buddies.
Did you send any dick pics?
Nah, I'm talking Nokia days.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it would have been fucking...
Just
You
text
got to
her.
draw it with the equal signs and the capital
8,
D.
Yeah, because it's Kai's dick, it's just 8 and then 1 equal signs.
Send that Nokia chode.
So you agree? April Fool's in the corner?
Yeah.
Anyone that does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, but I think I'm walking at the corner myself on the odd occasion. So this is mine. I don't even need it. Right, muggles who say they've got insomnia on Facebook when they can't sleep.
Oh.
Like, you're on Facebook. Who's ever fell asleep while they're on Facebook?
Yeah.
Fucking, you've got narcolepsy if you do. Get the fuck off Facebook if you've got insomnia.
Yeah.
That's not insomnia.
And there's a bright screen in my eyes. I'm
Yeah.
having a tough time.
Yeah, and when I turn off, I can't understand. I've stimulated my brain to this much to this point with this much light going into it. Why can't I fall asleep 3 seconds after I put it down? Oh, I don't know.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. If you shine a torch on a rooster, it's going to say cock-a-doodle-doo. It doesn't have insomnia. You're just a prick. Stop shining torches at roosters.
But that is one of those. That is one of those ones. Where people say it's one of those like mental conditions that's very serious, but people are just happy to claim that they've got.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I also put OCD and dyslexia
Yeah.
in this, right?
Yeah.
The amount of people dyslexia is for people who have dyslexia is a very debilitating fucking thing. I had a friend, Callum Marshall, in high school, who
Well, that's what he said his name was. But
yeah, he could never read it. It was actually Carl. had to have a teacher, like an assistant, come in and write the notes down for him, and then he'd have to go through it. And he passed eventually, but he had to revise extra hard and stuff and have assistants all the way through because his dyslexia was bad. And then you just get people like fucking Elliot Steele who just don't take time to learn how to spell and be like, I'm dyslexic. No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're just stupid shit. Like, how many times, like, if I fucking walk into the door frame on the way out of here, oops, I've got a little bit cerebral palsy.
Oh, I'm a bit
like,
blind.
No, you think, oh, fucking, oh, I've got ice cream on my face, I'm a little bit downsy.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking can't do it with all that disabilities. So stop bringing down the disabilities that you think it's okay to...
OCT is another one.
I always thought OCD because I fucking check the locks and shit heaps before I go.
Yeah,
Unless I'm in a rush, then I really can't.
Yeah.
Which means it's not. I've never missed a flight. I'm just a bit of a finicky cunt.
Yeah. Oh God, I got a bit of cough today. I'm just feeling a bit cancery. I think I'm just a bit cancery occasionally. I've just got a little bit cancer in my life. Oh no, it goes away when I'm doing other things. But yeah, it just pops on whenever I need to talk about me for a bit.
Well, when you swallowed your tongue the other day, you were a little bit epileptic, weren't you?
When I nearly choked. Did you hear about this? He saved my life.
I done the actual Heimlich manoeuvre on him.
No.
And fucking dislodged a bit of sausage roll out of his throat.
No.
What?
I was eating a sausage roll and I forgot to chew because I was excited. And then all the flakes stayed in my mouth and the full sausage was just like, here you go, slut.
He gave us the purple face, wide eyeball look. And I was like, are you not joking? He's like,
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. But then also afterwards realised Heimlich is not the right thing to do. It's meant to be patting
the back slaps first.
Yeah.
You do back slaps and then you do the abdominals.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you do is a breath. You have to try and push it into that lung. So I think
kisses.
I think he was angling for the kiss.
Yeah.
He was devastated when I was talking again. He's like, no, just keep faking it, keep faking it. He's still choking, putting his fingers down my throat. Oh, it's still down there, I can feel it. Yeah. My cousin, my uncle's got, what's the one where you fall asleep randomly?
Narcolepsy.
He's got that.
That's rough.
It is rough. Like, it is, like, and again, it's one of the ones that you make fun of. But his ones, it's not like the one where it's randomly, but just he'll just be hit by waves of being tired. Means he can't drive anymore. Like this, I've had friends who've just been like,
can't drive anymore. Keeps getting thrown out the strippers.
No drooling on the strippers. Come on. Oh, you're sleeping. Well, I guess that's fine. Nobody can control.
I passed out at the strippers once.
Did you?
Yeah, I was drinking with my mate Fridge. He met at the
Fridge.
wedding. My mate Fridge is like 6'5", 125 kilos. He's the only bloke that I can't outdrink, or at least keep up. No. But at some point, we're all going to bed. But Fridge is like, we still drinking? And I'm like, oh, boy. Twice. Once I went to the strippers, and then all of a sudden, it's like, Nick, you want a lap dance? Yeah, why not? Right? This is a few years ago. And then I'm getting this, just taps on the cheek. And I wake up and there's a stripper there and Fridge. Yeah. Like, you just sat down and passed out. You've got to go.
I got woke up with boobs once at the strippers. Oh, this is a noteworthy story.